Hey everybody, this is John Franklin Reviewer here, and I'm back doing my collection of movies. I'm on letter F right now. So just do a real quick thing here for people who haven't, caught up yet and all that here and just catching this video. That what I do is I actually show the movie real quick, and then at the end I show like my favorites that I really could sit down and watch a lot. Okay, so let's get ourselves started. So the first movie was, when I was doing my B titles, I did a movie called Bowling for Columbine, which was my first Michael Moore, and I said there was at least one other one that I liked better, and that's this one right here, folks, Fahrenheit 9/11. Now, I've seen other movies, and these are the only two that I do own, but between the two, this is definitely my favorite. This is when we had Bush Jr. in and the whole thing with 9/11 and the planes and all that. I'll be honest with you, I think out of everything, why I think I like it so much is that it's more of a tough watch, but almost everything he does can be a tough watch. Okay, so I got to show these ones back to back, and that is Final Destination and Final Destination 2. I don't have 3, 4, or 5. I love the first one still, and the second one is definitely my favorite. Everybody, talks about the whole thing with the logs behind the truck and killing that cop and killing everybody on the highway. Okay, another movie, and this was a friend of mine actually gave me this one called Finding Neverland with Johnny Depp, where it's about Peter Pan and all that, or the writer of Peter Pan. I definitely recommend. Now, for all those John Carpenter fans out there, I'm sure you've seen this movie, and if you haven't, if you're new to the game, check this one out. Definitely recommend, and that's The Fog. The Fog is a real fun movie, just really cool overall. Can't really complain too much about that movie. Okay, so another one is The Forsaken. A while back, I actually put down about movies that deserve a sequel. This is one of them, and I still stand by that, honestly, Okay, another one, I don't know if a lot of people know about this movie or have seen it at least, and it's a movie called Frivolity. It's with Matthew McConaughey and Bill Paxton. Bill Paxton plays his father, and also he directed the movie. They're very creepy. It almost has kind of a Hitchcock, vibe to it. So I have a collection here. I'm a fan of the old black and white horror movies, the whole Universal monsters. So I got a collection here of 8 movies of Frankenstein here. Now, I'm not going to go through all of them here, but of course you got the original Frankenstein, you got Bride of Frankenstein, Son of Frankenstein, and actually one of my favorites that was really cool was Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman. That was really cool there. Definitely a recommend on that one there. So then the next one we got here is Freddy vs. Jason. Place your bets. Really fun movie still. I reviewed this not too long ago. Really fun, still like it for what it is there. Now this one, I do have the collection of the Friday the 13th, but I do want to do some of them individually here. Probably all of them, I'm sure. But you got the original Friday the 13th, and the only thing I really want to say about this movie, one thing that this movie will go down in history for, is the killer in here. No, it's not Jason, my good people. It's Mrs. Voorhees here, Jason's mother. And this is always going to be more unique than the other ones. Yeah, people are not the biggest fan of this one, but you got to actually give credit where credit is due, and that's one thing I like. You got Part 2, which is my all-time favorite, if you see my ranking video on in here. Part 3 in 3D. I do enjoy the movie. I mean, the 3D effects is probably the worst thing, but I like it. Final Chapter, which is most people's favorite. I gotta be honest, this one's more towards the bottom. If you haven't seen my review of this, go back and check it out, or check out the ranking of why I have it so low. Part 5. I'm starting to respect this movie a lot more now than I used to. And then we got Jason Lives. Got to be honest, probably the funniest of them all from the 80s, I got to be honest there. You got 2 of them with Ken Holder here, which is Part 7 and Part 8. Not the biggest fan of 8 and 7. I used to love this movie, but this has dropped in my ranking very, really low. You got the remake of Friday the 13th, which surprisingly was one of these movies I was never really the biggest fan of when I first saw it, but like it now, I gotta be honest. I think I kind of go back and forth with it. And then another franchise that I would have had, and all I have is the 7th one here, and that's Furious 7. So as you can see, I don't have too many of these movies here. I don't mind the series, it's just, honestly, I've just been, picking up other movies over that one and all that there, so. Okay, so out of that pile there, I actually have two movies that I'm going to talk about here. The one that I'm going to talk about one more time is Freddy vs. Jason. Just a great battle between these two. It's such a good film overall. I could watch that all the time. And this is not going to be a shock, especially because I said this was my favorite of the franchise, and that's Friday the 13th Part 2. Ginny just being the smart character there. And really after that, I just don't think there really has been too many characters better than her on this one. Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching my collection of movies. This is the letter F here. So if you guys enjoyed this, please like, please subscribe, and as always, stay awesome.